The child's whisper cracked through the silence. "Mommy told me to wait." The soldier froze mid-step, breath caught in his chest. The K9 at his side didn't move, ears forward, eyes fixed on the darkened doorway ahead. He raised his rifle slowly, flashlight beam trembling against the doorframe. "What did you say?" The girl clutched the dog's fur, voice soft, uncertain. "She told me to wait here, until he came back." The soldier's chest tightened. His finger hovered over the trigger. He had heard warnings before, but never like this, never from a whisper born of memory. And as the door creaked open on its own, the air inside shifted cold. To know why he froze there, we need to go back, to the moment they first entered that house. The snow outside howled against the windows of the old farmhouse, rattling glass in its frames and pushing thin ribbons of frost through the cracks. The soldier stepped inside first, rifle raised, boots crunching over broken plaster and scattered shards of wood. His breath fogged the air, a ghost in the silence. Behind him came the child, small frame bundled in a coat that looked too big, sleeves rolled clumsily at the wrists. Her hand clung to the thick black fur of the K9 at her side. The dog moved with her, silent, body taut with awareness. Its amber eyes glowed faint in the soldier's flashlight beam. They crossed the threshold slowly. The air inside felt heavier than the storm, colder somehow, as if the walls themselves had absorbed the winter and held it tight. The soldier scanned the corners with practiced precision, rifle sight steady. Every doorway was another possibility, every shadow another threat. Then he heard it. A whisper. Soft. Fragile. "Mommy told me to wait." The soldier froze mid-step, his boot hanging above the boards before settling down with a muted creak. He turned sharply, his breath caught in his chest. The child's lips trembled. She didn't look at him when she said it. Her eyes were locked on the far wall, on a door half splintered at the end of the corridor. Her hand clenched tighter on the K9's fur. The soldier's voice came low, steady, though tension rippled through every syllable. "What did you say?" Her throat bobbed. She whispered again, softer this time. "Mommy told me to wait here, until he came back." The soldier's gut nodded. He steadied the rifle against his shoulder, eyes narrowing toward the splintered door. Wind howled against the walls, but inside, stillness. The K9 bristled, ears flat, eyes fixed on the same door. It didn't move. Its body stiffened as though frozen in time. The low vibration of its growl filled the corridor, not loud, but enough for the soldier to feel it in his boots. He crouched slightly, hand motioning the girl back. "Who told you that?" Her lips parted, the whisper cracking. "Mommy, before she left." The soldier's chest tightened. His training told him not to ask more, not now. Not here. But something in her voice wasn't memory, it was echo. He raised the rifle higher. The flashlight beam cut across the boards, lighting the jagged edges of the half-broken door. The child pressed her face into the dog's side, her whisper splintering again. "Don't let him find me." The soldier froze. His finger twitched against the trigger. He turned his head toward her, but her eyes stayed locked on the floor. "Who?" His voice sharpened. She shook her head violently, tears streaking down her cheeks. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's breath turned to stone in his chest. The K9 barked once, sharp, violent. The sound ricocheted through the farmhouse, snapping the silence into pieces. Dust rained down from the rafters, swirling in the beam of his light. From behind the broken door, something creaked. The soldier stiffened, sight snapping toward the sound. The wood shifted, moving just enough to breathe. He whispered, more to himself than anyone. "We're not alone." The girl whimpered louder, gripping the dog's collar. Her words came again, softer but certain. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's pulse thundered in his ears. He pressed his back against the wall, positioning himself between her and the door. His finger rested on the trigger, breath steady, stance braced. The silence returned. But it wasn't empty. It waited. The K9 growled low, fur bristling higher. Its stance didn't break. Still rooted. Still staring. The soldier steadied his breath, flashlight fixed on the broken door. The beam trembled with the shake of his hand. Then, another sound. A whisper. Not hers. Not his. From behind the door. Don't let him find me. The soldier's blood iced. His jaw clenched tight. The child screamed, the sound raw and broken. No. Don't listen. Don't let him find me. The soldier's chest burned. His rifle sight locked on the door. The boards rattled, shifting against the frame. Dust fell in a small cascade. The whisper came again, louder this time. Don't let him find me. The soldier's breath stopped. His eyes darted between the girl trembling behind the dog, and the door whispering her words back at him. His finger tightened on the trigger. And just as he steadied himself, the door slammed wide open. Open. The slam of the door shook the entire farmhouse, echoing through the rotting beams until dust rained down like ash. The soldier's flashlight cut into the darkness beyond, its trembling beam chasing shapes across cracked plaster and broken furniture. The corridor stretched into black, the edges swallowed whole. The soldier's rifle sight steadied at the frame, finger brushing the trigger. His breath fogged sharp and shallow. The child's cry broke the silence, raw and terrified. Don't let him find me. She pressed herself into the K9's flank, her fists gripping the leather collar until her knuckles went pale. The K9 stood like a statue, body tense, ears locked forward. Its amber eyes glowed in the beam's edge, staring unblinking into the dark. A low growl rolled from its chest, vibrating the boards beneath their boots. But it didn't lunge. Didn't move. Its stillness was more unsettling than any attack. The soldier shifted slightly, lowering his stance, rifle aimed. His voice cut into the silence, deep, commanding. Show yourself. For a heartbeat, nothing moved. Then, footsteps. Slow. Dragging. From deep in the hall. Each step echoed heavy, deliberate. The soldier's grip tightened on the rifle. His jaw clenched. He had cleared buildings where men tried to rattle him with sound, dragging boots to make him fire blind. But this was different. This sound wasn't tactic. It was arrival. The girl whimpered, her whisper cracking softer now, almost pleading. Don't let him find me. The soldier turned his head slightly, eyes locking with hers. You stay right here. His voice was steady, but his gut twisted. She knew something he didn't. Something that made her fear sharper than his training. The K9 barked once, sharp, violent. The sound ricocheted through the corridor, snapping dust from the ceiling. Its muzzle wrinkled, teeth bared, but its body stayed rooted to the boards. The footsteps grew louder, closer, until a figure emerged into the flashlight beam. Tall. Gaunt. Shoulders hunched under the weight of torn, blood-stained clothes. His skin was pale, stretched thin, lips cracked. His eyes glowed faint with a feverish light, but what froze the soldier wasn't his face, it was the sound. Don't let him find me. The words dripped from the man's mouth in the exact voice of the child behind him. The girl screamed, her sob breaking raw. No. That's not me. Don't listen. The soldier's chest burned. His sight locked on the figure's chest, finger tightening on the trigger. His voice cut sharp. Stay where you are. The figure stumbled forward a step, boots scraping frost. Blood dripped down his arm, splattering the boards. His grin cracked wide, teeth stained red. Mommy told me to wait. The soldier's stomach dropped. The girl shrieked again, voice splitting. "That's my voice. Don't believe him." The K9 barked furiously, straining against the collar, claws tearing grooves into the boards. Its growl deepened into fury, but it still didn't break its stillness. It held the line, every muscle braced. The soldier's mind raced. He steadied his stance, breath measured. He couldn't fire blind. Not yet. Not when the girl's voice echoed from the thing standing in front of him. The figure dragged its hand up, palm open, fingers trembling. His grin widened. "Help me." The soldier's teeth clenched. His finger curled tighter against the trigger. The girl screamed louder, clutching at the dog. "Don't let him find me. Please." The soldier shouted back at the figure, his voice thunderous. "Who are you?" The figure tilted its head. Its grin stayed. "I'm the one she was waiting for." The soldier's breath caught. His chest burned. The girl's sob cracked sharp. "No. Mommy said he would come, but not him. Not him." The K9 barked again, savage and sharp. The sound cut through the storm in the soldier's head. The figure stumbled another step forward, raising its hand higher. His voice fractured into overlapping whispers, each one a mimic. "Don't let him find me. Help me. Mommy told me to wait." The words echoed in perfect rhythm with the child's voice, layering until the corridor became a storm of mimicry. The soldier's ears rang. His knees bent lower, rifle sight steady. His breath came ragged. The girl's whisper cracked behind him, fragile but certain. "Don't let him find me." The figure's grin widened. It repeated the same words, perfectly. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's chest tightened. He forced his voice over the storm, raw and resolute. "You're not her." The figure tilted its head back, laughter tearing through the corridor, wet and broken. Blood spattered from its lips, streaking the boards. Then it snapped forward, charging. The soldier's finger pressed. The rifle cracked, muzzle flash blinding the dark. The figure jerked back, collapsing against the wall. Blood streaked wide, pooling across frost. The corridor shook with silence. Then, its voice rose again, broken but grinning. "Mommy told me to wait." The girl screamed, her cry tearing the stillness apart. The soldier steadied his rifle, ears ringing. His pulse thundered. He whispered to himself, voice shaking. "If you were in my boots, would you fire again, or wait?" The K9 growled louder, teeth bared. The figure started to rise. The rifle's thunder still echoed in his ears when the figure stirred. The soldier kept the sight locked, shoulder tight against the stock, finger ready to fire again. His breath hitched, fogging the beam of light that cut through dust. He had aimed clean, center mass. That shot should have dropped any man. But the thing in front of him wasn't any man. The figure pressed one bloody hand against the wall, forcing itself upright. Its grin widened, jagged teeth shining wet in the glow of his flashlight. Its chest heaved with rattling breaths, blood pouring from the wound, but it spoke as though nothing had pierced it. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's chest burned. It wasn't the words that froze him, it was the voice. Her voice. The child's voice. Perfect, down to the quiver of fear. The girl sobbed behind him, pressing her face into the K9's fur. "That's not me. Don't listen. Don't listen." The K9's growl rattled the corridor, deep and violent. Its stance remained rooted, rigid, claws digging into the boards. It refused to break that stillness, its restraint carrying more weight than any attack. The soldier's finger pressed harder against the trigger, but his gut twisted. The mimicry wasn't random. It knew. It wasn't just repeating, it was stealing. The figure staggered another step forward, leaving a smear of blood across the wall. Its head tilted, eyes burning hollow, voice shifting. "Mommy told me to wait." The soldier's pulse slammed against his ribs. He steadied the rifle. His voice tore sharp through clenched teeth. "Who told you that?" The figure's grin twitched wider, its voice cracking into another layer. "She did." The child's scream cracked the air, raw and furious. "No. That's mine. Don't say it." The soldier's breath stuttered. He pressed his back harder against the wall, anchoring himself in position. He couldn't let the mimicry decide for him. He had to hold. The whispers multiplied. Not just from the figure. From the walls, the ceiling, the floor. Each one layered with the girl's tone, repeating her words. "Don't let him find me. Mommy told me to wait. Don't let him find me." The corridor filled with echoes, circling, pressing. The soldier's ears rang under the weight of it, his knees threatening to buckle. He shouted into the storm, his voice raw. "You don't get to use her voice." The figure staggered closer. Its body trembled, blood streaking down its chest, but its smile never broke. Its voice twisted again, breaking into a perfect copy of his own. "You don't get to use her voice." The soldier's blood turned to ice. His own voice, reflected back, crawling out of that grin. The child wailed louder, her words collapsing into sobs. "Make it stop. Please, make it stop." The K9 barked once, the sound violent enough to cut the storm for a heartbeat. Dust rained down in a fine veil. The soldier steadied his stance. His voice roared above the whispers, louder than the echoes. "You're not me. You're not her. You're nothing." The figure froze for a moment, head cocked. Then it whispered back, softer, her voice again. "Daddy." The soldier's gut clenched. His chest locked tight. The girl screamed, desperate, tugging at his sleeve. "That's not me. I didn't say it." The K9 snarled violently, dragging against the harness, teeth snapping inches from the figure's arm. But still it refused to cross the line, body locked in that unbreakable stillness. The figure grinned wider, blood spilling across its chin. Its body lurched forward, arms stretching out. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's throat burned. His sight stayed locked. His finger pressed. The door behind the figure slammed shut with violent force. The echo cracked through the farmhouse like thunder. The flashlight beam shook, scattering shadows. The figure vanished. The soldier froze, chest heaving, rifle sight sweeping the empty corridor. Boards groaned. Dust settled. Silence returned. The girl whimpered into the dog's fur, her whisper soft but certain. "Don't let him find me." The soldier whispered back, voice rough. "He won't." The K9's ears stayed sharp, nose twitching. It didn't relax. Its stare burned into the boards at their feet, growl steady. Then came the sound. From beneath. A whisper, faint, cracking through the floorboards. "Mommy told me to wait." The soldier's eyes snapped down. The girl screamed, raw. "No. Not from there. Don't listen." The boards rattled under his boots. Dust puffed upward with each vibration. The whisper rose again, louder. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's breath stilled. His rifle lowered toward the floor. The K9 barked once, anchoring him. The girl sobbed, clutching at his sleeve. Her whisper came one last time, softer but certain. "Please don't let him find me." The soldier pressed his jaw tight. His voice cracked through the silence. "If you were here, would you look down, or would you walk away?" The boards buckled beneath his boots. And then, a hand punched through the floor. The floor splintered open, jagged wood bursting upward as a pale hand clawed through, knuckles scraping against frost-stained boards. The soldier staggered back one step, rifle sight locking onto the hole widening beneath his boots. His breath hitched, chest tight, finger pressed near the trigger. The K9 roared with a bark that thundered through the farmhouse, the sound violent, defiant. It lunged against the harness, teeth snapping at the hand forcing through the floor, but still it held its ground, claws digging into the boards to anchor itself. The girl screamed, her cry sharp and breaking. "Don't let him find me." She pulled at the soldier's sleeve with frantic fists, tears streaking her face. Another hand punched through beside the first, fingers bloody, nails jagged. Splinters rained across the floor. Then came the whisper. "Help me." The soldier froze. His throat locked as the word crawled up from the darkness, sharp and urgent, louder than the mimicry before. "Help me." The soldier's jaw clenched. His voice cut hard, though it shook. "Who are you?" The whisper returned, louder, more insistent. "Help me." The floor buckled further, splitting wide as a shoulder shoved through. Pale skin glistened with blood and frost. The boards cracked, nails screeching loose. The K9 barked again, snapping at the figure forcing itself upward. Its teeth clamped down on wood splinters, tearing them free, blood flecking its muzzle. Still, its body stayed rigid, refusing to step past the crack. Its restraint screamed louder than its fury. The soldier steadied his stance, crouched lower, rifle sight aimed between the jagged boards. His breath trembled. The girl sobbed into the dog's fur, her whisper cracked but pleading. "Don't listen. Please don't listen. Help me." The voice slammed against the corridor, vibrating the walls, rattling the window panes until frost fell in thin streaks. The soldier's chest seized. He had heard men scream for rescue from rubble, from burning streets, from collapsed trenches. That plea had always been his call to move. But here, the child's terror struck sharper than instinct. The figure's head forced through now, bloodied hair matted to a pale skull. Its eyes rolled, wild and glassy, grin split wide across its face. Blood bubbled from its lips as it spoke again. "Help me." The soldier's pulse slammed. He pressed harder into the rifle. "You don't need help. You need to stay down." The grin widened. Its voice cracked louder, urgent. "Help me." The girl shrieked, collapsing into sobs. "Don't let him find me. He'll take me again." The soldier's throat tightened. He shouted back, his voice breaking into the storm. "Not while I'm here." The K9 barked furiously, muzzle snapping inches from the figure's face. Its growl rolled deep, vibrating the boards, anchoring the soldier's chest. The figure dragged itself higher, chest breaking through the floorboards, blood soaking wood in thick streaks. Its body trembled with the effort, but its grin never faltered. "Mommy told me to wait." The soldier's jaw locked. He steadied his breath. His finger tightened on the trigger. He fired. The blast ripped through the corridor, muzzle flash lighting the farmhouse in a violent strobe. Blood sprayed across the boards, the figure jerking back, but still it clawed forward, grin widening. "Help me." The whisper slammed again, urgent, louder. The soldier fired again. Another blast tore through its chest. Its body shuddered but didn't stop. The girl wailed, clutching the K9's collar. "Daddy, don't let him." The soldier's breath tore ragged from his chest. His sight stayed locked. His voice cracked raw. "You don't get her." The whispers multiplied now, fracturing from below, circling the corridor. "Help me. Help me. Help me." The voices overlapped, rising into a storm that rattled the farmhouse. The soldier staggered, knees buckling, ears ringing under the weight. Dust poured from the ceiling, choking the beam of his light. The K9 barked once, sharp and violent, anchoring him again. Its snarl filled the corridor like a vow. The soldier steadied his rifle, voice tearing through the roar. If you were in my place, would you believe the voice, or the fear in her eyes? The figure dragged itself higher, broken ribs splitting against the boards. Its eyes locked on the girl. Its grin cracked wider. Help me. The soldier pressed his shoulder tighter to the stock. His breath steadied into rhythm. His finger curled. The girl sobbed into the dog's fur, whispering softer but certain. Don't let him find me. The figure lunged upward, jaws snapping wide. The soldier fired. The blast filled the corridor, deafening. Blood sprayed high, streaking frost across the walls. The figure collapsed forward, body sprawled half in, half out of the hole. The whispers fell silent. For a heartbeat. Then rose again, dozens now, fractured, desperate. Help me. Help me. Help me. The boards shuddered beneath them, splitting further, as if more weighted below. The soldier's chest locked tight. His rifle smoked in his hands. His ears rang. The girl sobbed harder, her whisper breaking apart. Don't let him find me. The K9 snarled, rigid, muzzle dripping red. The soldier steadied his breath. His eyes locked on the splintering floor. And he realized this was only the beginning. The farmhouse groaned under the weight of sound. The floorboards rattled like ribs in a cage, splitting wider with every second. Blood seeped through the cracks, soaking into the frost. The soldier's boots slid against the wet boards, rifle raised, sight locked. The body sprawled across the floor should have been still. The soldier had fired point blank, his rounds cutting through flesh and bone. But the grin hadn't faded. The eyes still burned. And worse, the whispers had multiplied. Help me. Help me. Help me. Dozens of voices now, circling the corridor. Each layered with urgency, sharp enough to rattle his skull. The child shrieked, her fists gripping his sleeve, eyes wide with terror. He won't stop. He'll never stop. The K9 roared with fury, barking so violently it rattled the panes in their frames. Its body trembled against the harness, but still it refused to move forward. It dug claws deeper into the boards, anchoring itself like a stone. The soldier's throat burned. He shouted above the roar, voice cracking with command. You don't get her. The body twitched. Slowly. Deliberately. Its head rolled, neck cracking, grin widening further as blood streamed from its mouth. Its voice rasped, broken but loud. Mommy told me to wait. The girl screamed, collapsing into sobs. Don't say it. Don't say her words. The soldier steadied the rifle, breath ragged. His sight pressed harder against the stock. He fired. The blast tore through its chest. Blood sprayed, flesh splitting. The body jerked back, but laughter broke through the smoke, wet and jagged. Help me. The soldier fired again. The round ripped through its skull, splintering bone, spraying frost red. The body slumped. But the whispers only rose louder. Help me. Help me. Help me. The floor convulsed. Splinters shot upward as more hands clawed through, pale and jagged. Fingers curled over broken edges, dragging more bodies into the light. The soldier's pulse hammered. He reloaded fast, the snap of metal deafening in the storm. His voice ripped raw. Stay behind me. The girl clung tighter, her whisper breaking into panic. Don't let him find me. The soldier's jaw clenched. He roared into the dark, voice tearing his throat. If you were me, would you hold your ground, or run? The K9 barked furiously, anchoring him again. One figure dragged itself free of the hole, chest heaving, blood soaking through tattered clothes. Another followed, pale eyes burning, grins too wide. Their mouths opened, and the storm screamed sharper. Help me! Help me! Help me! The soldier's ears rang. His vision blurred. Sweat froze against his temple. He fired again, the muzzle flash cutting the dark. One figure's skull split, blood spraying, body collapsing, but another pulled through, hands clawing forward. The girl wailed, her voice splintering. "He'll take me again. Please don't let him." The K9 lunged against the harness, teeth snapping inches from the nearest hand. Its growl rattled the floorboards, its bark sharp enough to steady the soldier's chest. He fired again. Another blast tore through, bodies dropping into the blood-slick frost. But still they came, climbing, crawling, repeating the same refrain. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" The soldier staggered, bracing himself against the wall. His chest heaved, ears bleeding from the pressure of sound. His voice cracked, shouting into the storm. "You won't have her. Not while I breathe." The girl sobbed into the dog's fur, her whisper softer but certain. "Don't let him find me." The soldier steadied himself, anchoring to the rifle's weight, to the dog's bark, to the small hands gripping his sleeve. The corridor shook. Dust rained down. Splinters scattered across the frost. 3 more figures clawed up from the hole, their mouths moving in unison. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" Their voices overlapped into distortion, pressing into his skull until his vision blurred. The soldier's breath came ragged, body trembling under the weight. His rifle barrel smoked. His knees threatened to buckle. The K9 barked again, loud and violent, cutting through the storm like a flare. The soldier pressed his shoulder tighter to the stock. His voice roared above the chaos, an oath torn from his chest. "Not her. Never her." He fired. The corridor lit in violent flashes. Blood sprayed wide, splattering across walls and frost. Figures collapsed, broken, dissolving into the dark below. But the whispers didn't stop. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" The girl screamed, her voice tearing raw. "He'll never stop." The soldier's chest burned. His arms shook from recoil. His ears bled. His vision blurred. But his stance held. He whispered to himself, steady despite the storm. "Neither will I." The floor buckled wider. The farmhouse groaned as though it might collapse. Dust poured down in thick veils. More figures pressed upward, dozens of hands clawing at the boards. The K9 snarled, fury unbroken. The girl clung tighter, her whisper soft but certain. "Don't let him find me." The soldier steadied his breath. His voice cracked into the roar. "If you were here, would you keep fighting, or would you fall?" The hole widened further, a black maw splitting the farmhouse open. And the next face rose into the beam of his flashlight, smiling, bloodied, wearing her eyes. The flashlight beam shook as the soldier steadied the rifle against his shoulder. The corridor seemed to collapse around him, its walls trembling, its ceiling raining dust with every groan of the floor. He had fired until the rifle's barrel smoked, but the storm hadn't broken. The figures kept rising. Hands clawed at the boards, pale and jagged, nails tearing splinters loose. Faces pushed through the cracks, eyes wide, smiles cracked and red with blood. One dissolved when he fired, only to be replaced by 2 more clawing upward. The K9 snarled like thunder, its body braced low, claws digging trenches into the wood. Its muzzle dripped blood, foam flecking at its lips, but still it didn't break its stance. Bark after bark tore from its throat, anchoring the soldier against the storm. The girl sobbed into its fur, her voice splintering but steady with one refrain. "Don't let him find me, don't let him find me." And through it all, the voices rose louder. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" Dozens of them, layered, urgent, cracking into distortion. They weren't whispers anymore, they were shouts, orders, demands. The soldier pressed his back harder into the wall, sweat freezing against his temple. His ears rang from the rifle's blasts, blood sliding warm down his jaw. His breath came ragged, chest heaving. He fired again. The recoil slammed his shoulder, muzzle flash cutting the dark. One figure's head snapped back, skull rupturing, blood spraying across the boards. The body collapsed into the dark below. But the voices didn't fade. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" Another face surged upward, blood streaking down its chin. Its lips moved perfectly in time with the voices, but when it spoke, the words didn't match. "You don't get her." The soldier's chest tightened. His eyes narrowed. His finger pressed harder against the trigger. Then another voice rose from the swarm, sharper than the rest. "You don't get her. You don't get her." Dozens now, all echoing his own words back at him, mimicking the vow he had shouted moments ago. The soldier's stomach dropped. His own voice pressed against him, layered into a storm of mockery. The girl screamed, tugging his sleeve. "That's not you. Don't listen to them." The K9 barked violently, anchoring him. Its eyes glowed in the beam of light, locked into the swarm forcing upward. The soldier steadied his stance, chest heaving. His voice tore through the noise, raw and cracked. "You don't get her. Not ever." The whispers answered back immediately. "You don't get her. You don't get her. You don't get her." The storm of mimicry pressed harder, louder, until the walls rattled, glass shattered from the windows, and boards splintered beneath his boots. The soldier's knees buckled. His vision blurred. He had fought battles where mortars rained and buildings collapsed, but never had words themselves tried to bury him. The girl cried into the dog's fur, her whisper a plea against the storm. "Please don't let him take me." The soldier's jaw locked. He shouted back into the dark, louder than the echoes. "I'm not letting you go." The voices surged higher, distorting into something unbearable. "Not letting you go. Not letting you go. Not letting you go." His voice again. Broken, twisted, multiplied until he could no longer tell which was his. The K9 roared with another bark, snapping its jaws at a pale hand reaching too close. Its teeth tore through skin and splinters alike, blood spraying against the boards. The dog shook violently, snarls filling the hall, but still it didn't step forward. Stillness, again, its own kind of defiance. The soldier pressed his weight against the rifle, sweat pouring cold down his spine. He fired again, round after round, bodies jerking and collapsing, but more replacing them. His chest ached, lungs searing. The girl clutched him tighter, her whisper sharp and broken. "Mommy said to wait, but I don't want to anymore." The soldier's throat tightened. He pressed his forehead briefly against the stock, grounding himself in steel. His voice came low, steady despite the roar. "You don't have to. Not with me." The storm fractured into screams, distorted and violent. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" The corridor shook under the weight, dust raining in choking veils. The boards buckled wider, dozens of pale hands clawing up at once, dragging more bodies into the light. Their faces were cracked copies, some half-formed, some wearing her eyes. The soldier's pulse slammed. His rifle smoked. His body screamed for rest, but his stance held. The K9 barked again, muzzle snapping, fury unbroken. The soldier shouted above the roar, voice breaking into a raw question. "If you were me, would you still believe in bullets, or would you trust her voice?" The voices crashed louder, urgent. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" The girl screamed louder, clutching him with desperate fists. "Don't listen! Please don't listen!" The soldier steadied his breath, sight locked on the faces clawing higher. His finger pressed harder. And from the swarm, one voice rose above the rest. Clear. Direct. Her voice. "Daddy, help me." The soldier's chest seized. His rifle trembled in his hands. His finger froze. The girl behind him screamed, raw, throat-splitting. "That's not me." The K9 barked violently, jaws clamping on a reaching arm, tearing it loose. Blood splattered across the boards. The soldier's breath burned. His vision blurred. His ears rang. The swarm screamed louder, every voice overlapping into chaos. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" And beneath it all, the echo of her voice again. "Daddy, help me!" The soldier's pulse hammered. His knees buckled. And the floor split wider. The floor tore wider, wood shrieking as nails shot loose into the dark. The farmhouse groaned like it might collapse under the weight of what pushed through. Dust fell in heavy curtains, mixing with snow that seeped through broken panes. The soldier braced his stance, rifle trembling in his hands. He had fought long nights before, battles where gunfire drowned out thought, where the world itself seemed to crack. But never had he faced this, a storm of voices clawing through wood and blood. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" Dozens, then hundreds, overlapping. The words weren't whispers anymore, they were jagged screams, distorted into something mechanical, grinding against his ears until his skull buzzed. The girl clung tighter to his sleeve, her body shaking with sobs. "Don't let him take me! Don't let him find me!" The K9 roared in defiance, bark after bark slamming into the chaos like gunshots of its own. Its muzzle dripped blood, its chest rumbled with snarls, but still it didn't move forward. Its stillness anchored the soldier even as the boards beneath them splintered. Figures crawled through the widening hole. Pale arms pulled bodies forward, their movements jerky, unnatural. Faces half-formed stretched wide grins, mouths opening in unison. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" The sound hit like waves, battering the soldier until his knees threatened to give. His ears bled fresh, crimson streaks sliding down his jaw. His breath came ragged, fogging into the frozen air. He fired. The rifle's crack split the corridor. A figure's head burst back, body collapsing into the swarm. Blood sprayed wide, streaking the boards. But the storm didn't falter. Another face replaced it instantly, grinning, eyes burning. "Help me! Help me! Help me!" The soldier fired again. His shoulder slammed with recoil. Another body fell, another replaced it. His rifle smoked, his arms trembled, but still he fired. The girl shrieked louder, her voice splintering into panic. "Daddy, stop! Don't listen! Don't listen to them!" The soldier's chest heaved, his sight locked, but her plea shook him deeper than the storm. He had been trained to answer the cry for help, but not when it was stolen, twisted, multiplied. The voices overlapped again, shifting. "Help me! Daddy! Help me! Daddy!" The soldier's throat locked. The swarm spoke in her voice now. Dozens of copies, layered together, each broken, each wrong. "Daddy, help me! Daddy, don't let him find me! Daddy!" The girl screamed louder, raw, throat tearing. "That's not me! That's not me!" The soldier pressed his back into the wall, anchoring himself. His hands shook. His ears rang. His chest hammered like it might collapse. The K9 barked violently, muzzle snapping inches from the swarm, blood flecking from its jaws. Its roar tore through the distortion for a heartbeat, snapping the soldier's focus. He shouted above the chaos, voice cracked and raw. "You don't get her!" The swarm answered back instantly, in his voice. "You don't get her! You don't get her! You don't get her!" The walls shook under the weight of his own words, echoed back at him until he couldn't tell where his voice ended and theirs began. The girl sobbed into the dog's fur, whispering softer now, fragile. please, don't choose him." The soldier's pulse thundered. He steadied the rifle, his breath tearing through the cold. The swarm screamed louder. The voices overlapped until they weren't words anymore, just distortion, a mechanical grind that rattled his teeth. Then, silence. For one breath. The soldier froze, ears ringing in the void. His sight stayed locked, but his finger trembled against the trigger. A single voice cut through. "Choose." The word hit harder than the storm had. The girl's scream split the air, desperate. "Don't listen. Daddy, don't listen." The K9 barked once, violent, defiant. Then the storm rose again, hundreds of voices this time, but all repeating that single word. "Choose. Choose. Choose." The soldier's knees shook. His chest seized. His breath froze in his throat. Figures clawed higher, faces forming more clearly now. Some were the girl's eyes. Some were his own. Each mouth opened in unison. "Choose." The girl sobbed harder, her fists pulling at his sleeve. "Don't choose him. Don't let him take me." The K9 lunged against the harness, snapping its jaws at the faces. Blood sprayed across the boards. Its growl rattled the corridor, deeper than any voice. The soldier shouted into the roar, voice cracking. "I choose her." The voices screamed back, louder, fractured into distortion. "Choose. Choose. Choose." The corridor buckled. Dust poured down. Frost cracked from the windows. The soldier's chest heaved. His rifle smoked. His ears bled. His vision blurred. The girl whispered one last time, soft but steady, cutting through the chaos. "Don't let him find me." The soldier steadied his breath. His voice tore raw into the storm. "Never." The floor cracked wide. And something larger began to push through. The floor split wide, jagged beams jutting upward like broken ribs. From the black beneath, something larger pressed against the boards, forcing them apart with each groan. Dust poured down in choking veils, the air thick with frost and smoke. The soldier staggered, rifle sight trembling as he kept it locked on the dark. His chest burned from the storm of voices still echoing in his skull. Blood trickled warm from his ears, freezing against his jaw. The girl clung tighter, her fists locked around his sleeve. Her whispers came rapid, desperate, trembling. "Don't let him take me. Don't let him find me." The K9 roared with another violent bark, claws tearing deep gouges into the wood. Its muzzle dripped with blood, its amber eyes locked into the widening hole. Stillness anchored its frame, but the fury shaking through it was alive, unstoppable. The swarm of voices surged louder, fractured into unbearable storms. "Help me. Don't let him find me. Mommy told me to wait. Choose." All of them, layered, overlapping, screaming at once. The soldier pressed his back to the wall, rifle locked in his hands. His pulse thundered. His chest heaved. His breath rattled like broken glass. He fired. The rifle cracked, muzzle flash lighting the hole. One figure's head burst, dissolving into blood and smoke. But immediately, another pushed higher, mouth stretched wide. "Daddy." His knees buckled. His sight blurred. That voice, it was hers again. "Daddy, help me." The child screamed from behind him, throat splitting. "That's not me." The soldier fired again. Another body jerked back, blood spraying wide. But still the voices pressed harder. "Daddy, help me. Daddy, please. Daddy." Hundreds now, each stealing her tone. The soldier's breath faltered. His chest threatened to cave. His hands shook against the rifle. He had been trained to trust his ears, to follow the call for help, but what if the call was a trap? The girl's fists yanked at his sleeve. Her real voice cracked sharp, panicked. "Don't listen, Daddy. Please don't listen to him." The K9 barked furiously, anchoring him again. Its bark cut through the storm like a blade, dragging him back into focus. The soldier steadied his stance, voice roaring raw. "You don't get her." The swarm screamed back in his own voice. "You don't get her. You don't get her. You don't get her." The walls shook, glass shattered from the frames. Frost spilled across the boards. The soldier's chest tightened until he thought it might split. He pressed harder into the rifle, whispering ragged through clenched teeth. "I said no." The storm pressed back, louder, broken into distortion. "I said no. I said no. I said no." The mimicry tore at him, until his own voice was no longer his. The girl wailed louder, her sobs collapsing into gasps. She pressed herself into the K9's side, whispering again, softer but certain. "Please don't let him find me." The soldier forced his voice above the storm, broken but resolute. "He won't." The floor convulsed, splintering further. More hands surged upward, clawing into the boards. Faces pressed through the dark, some half-formed, some wearing her eyes. "Daddy, help me. Daddy, please. Daddy, don't let him find me." The words fractured, layered, each stealing more of her tone until the corridor became a chorus of her voice. The soldier's pulse hammered. His arms shook with recoil as he fired again. One face dissolved, another replaced it. Sweat stung his eyes, freezing against his skin. The K9 barked violently, jaws clamping on another reaching hand. It tore free, blood spraying across the boards. Its snarl shook the floor. The soldier's chest ached. His breath came ragged. His voice tore raw through the chaos. "If you were me, would you trust the whispers, or the fear in her eyes?" The storm didn't falter. "Trust the whispers. Trust the whispers. Trust the whispers." The girl's sobs cracked sharp, her whisper shaking but true. "Daddy, don't trust them." The soldier pressed his forehead against the rifle stock, breath steadying into rhythm. He whispered through clenched teeth, voice steady. "I trust you." The swarm screamed louder, fracturing into distorted shrieks that rattled the walls. "Choose. Choose. Choose." The corridor shook under the weight. The farmhouse groaned like it might split apart. The soldier's vision blurred. His knees buckled. But still his stance held, rifle sight locked. The girl clung tighter, whispering softer, almost breaking. "Don't let him find me." The K9 barked once more, loud enough to crack through everything. The floor split fully open. And something larger than all the others began to rise. The boards tore open with a sound like bone snapping. Splinters shot into the air, snow gusting through the cracks as if the storm itself had been waiting below. Dust billowed in choking clouds, dimming the flashlight beam until only shadows moved. The soldier braced himself, rifle stock pressed tight to his shoulder, sight aimed dead center. His ears rang with the echoes of 1,000 whispers, but then... silence. One voice rose. "Choose." The soldier's chest seized. His boots slid half an inch on the frost-slick boards, but his stance held. "Choose." Not dozens this time. Not hundreds. One. Calm. Direct. The girl whimpered, her fists digging into his sleeve, her small body trembling against him. "Don't listen, Daddy, please don't listen." The K9 barked once, sharp, violent. Its body braced, ears forward, muzzle dripping blood. The sound anchored the soldier's chest like steel. But the voice came again, louder. "Choose." From the dark below, something rose. Not clawing, not jerking like the others. This one moved with slow, deliberate force. A figure emerged, pulling itself upright from the broken floor. It looked like her. The soldier's pulse slammed in his throat. The figure was small, shoulders fragile, hair matted with frost. Its face carried her eyes, her mouth, her trembling lips. Blood streaked down its cheek, but when it spoke, the voice was hers. "Daddy, help me." The soldier's rifle trembled. His eyes darted between the girl clutching his arm and the figure dragging itself from the dark. The child behind him screamed, her cry tearing raw. "That's not me. Don't believe it." The figure tilted its head, grinned too wide for the face it wore. Its lips cracked as it spoke again, soft, breaking. "Mommy told me to wait." The soldier's knees buckled. His chest ached. His finger froze against the trigger. The K9 roared with another bark, lunging against the harness, teeth snapping inches from the false child's face. Its snarl rattled the corridor, blood flecking across the boards. The figure didn't flinch. It stepped forward, fragile hands reaching. "Choose." The soldier's throat tightened until he thought it might close. His breath caught in jagged bursts. He had faced ultimatums before: hold the line or retreat, shoot or don't, save one man or save many. But never like this. The girl's sobs broke into whispers, frantic and certain. "Don't choose him, Daddy. Don't let him take me." The figure stepped closer, its voice cracking sharper now. "Choose, or I take her." The soldier's chest turned to stone. His vision blurred, sweat freezing across his brow. He pressed his back harder into the wall, rifle still locked, finger trembling. The voice sharpened again, louder, harsher. "Choose." The corridor shook with the word. The beams groaned, frost splintering from the windows. The K9 barked furiously, its fury tearing through the storm like thunder. The soldier steadied his breath, his voice raw but steady. "I already chose." The false child's grin widened, splitting too far. Its teeth gleamed jagged in the flashlight beam. "Prove it." The girl screamed louder, yanking at his sleeve. "Don't do it, Daddy. Don't listen to him." The soldier's jaw locked. His pulse thundered. His finger curled tighter against the trigger. The false child stepped closer, whispering again, her voice perfect. "Daddy, help me." The soldier's eyes burned. His ears rang. His knees shook. Then her real whisper cracked behind him, fragile but unbroken. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's chest steadied. His breath came slow, measured. He whispered to himself, low, a vow. "I won't." The K9 barked, violent, decisive. The soldier roared, voice breaking into steel. "I choose her." He fired. The blast split the corridor, muzzle flash lighting every shadow. The false child's chest erupted, blood spraying across the frost. Its body jerked back, collapsing into the dark. The voices screamed in unison, fractured and violent. "Choose. Choose. Choose." The soldier fired again. Another blast ripped through. The figure dissolved into smoke and blood, its grin still stretched too wide as it fell into the hole. The storm howled louder than before, the word shaking the farmhouse to its bones. "Choose. Choose. Choose." The girl sobbed into the dog's fur, her whisper steady despite her tears. "You already did." The soldier pressed his back harder into the wall, rifle barrel smoking. His breath tore ragged from his chest, but his voice cracked through the roar, certain. "I chose her." The voices screamed once more, unified into a thunder that rattled the beams. "Choose." Then silence. The hole yawned open, empty. The figures were gone. The soldier's chest heaved. His rifle trembled in his hands. The K9 stayed braced, its growl fading into low huffs. The girl clung tighter, whispering softer now, almost a prayer. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's jaw clenched. His voice whispered back, low and certain. "Not while I'm here." But deep in the silence, he knew it wasn't over. Not yet. The silence weighed heavier than the storm had. The hole gaped wide in the farmhouse floor, boards splintered into jagged teeth. Snow swirled through broken panes, dust hanging thick in the air. The soldier stood rigid, rifle lowered but smoking, his chest heaving with ragged breaths. The K9 remained at his side, braced and watchful. Its muzzle dripped blood, foam flecking its lips, but its amber eyes stayed locked on the darkness below. A low growl hummed in its chest, fading only when the silence stretched too long. The girl pressed herself into the soldier's side, small hands clinging to his sleeve. Her face was streaked with tears and dust, but her eyes lifted to his. They searched his expression like she was asking a question without words. He lowered to one knee, rifle still slung in his hand. His voice came low, steady, though his throat burned. "It's over." Her lips trembled. She shook her head, whispering fragile, uncertain. "Don't let him find me." The soldier reached for her shoulders, scarred hands gentle, steadying her. His voice firmed into something unbreakable. "He won't. Not while I'm here." The K9 pressed its flank against both of them, warmth radiating from its body. Its stillness was no longer unsettling, it was a vow, a promise stronger than words. The farmhouse creaked as if exhaling, beams settling into quiet. Snow eased against the walls. Outside, dawn's first light began to cut across the horizon, spilling faint blue through the shattered windows. The soldier rose, pulling the girl to her feet. He slung the rifle across his back and kept one hand firm on her shoulder, the other gripping the K9's harness. Together, they turned from the hole and stepped toward the door. Each step across the blood-soaked boards echoed too loud, boots crunching against splinters and frost. The air was clearer near the doorway, colder but honest, without whispers bleeding through it. At the threshold, the soldier paused, looking back once more. The corridor stretched silent behind him, shadows crouching in corners where the figures had risen. The hole yawned open, waiting. He knew silence wasn't absence. It was only patience. The girl tugged his sleeve gently, her whisper breaking the thought. "Can we go now?" He nodded, jaw tight. "We're going." The K9 barked once, sharp, decisive. They stepped into the snow. The cold outside was cleaner, free of echoes. Their breath fogged white into the dawn, drifting skyward. The horizon stretched wide, pale sun breaking across the frozen fields. The girl walked close, still clutching his sleeve. Her voice came softer, not broken anymore but weary. "Mommy said to wait here, but I don't want to wait anymore." The soldier's throat tightened. He looked down at her, his voice steady but carrying a weight that wasn't for her to bear. "Then you don't have to." Her eyes searched his face again, as though she didn't quite believe him yet. "Are you sure?" The K9 pressed against her leg, head brushing her hand. She let go of the soldier's sleeve just long enough to grip the dog's fur instead. The soldier nodded once. "I'm sure." Snow crunched beneath their boots as they walked farther from the farmhouse. Behind them, the structure loomed dark against the pale horizon, its broken windows staring like eyes. It would stand there long after they were gone. Waiting. But it didn't own them anymore. The girl whispered once more, softer now, almost like a prayer carried on the wind. "Don't let him find me." The soldier's chest ached. He leaned down, his voice low, rough but certain. "Not while I breathe." The K9 barked again, short, firm, sealing the vow. For a long stretch, they walked in silence. Only the wind spoke, brushing across snow, rattling bare trees. Their tracks carved a line behind them, winding away from the farmhouse. The soldier's thoughts weighed heavy, anchored to every moment in that house. The mimicry. The whispers. The ultimatum. He had made his choice, again and again. Each time, the same. Her. Sometimes choice wasn't complicated. Sometimes it was the only thing that mattered. The girl finally lifted her face toward him, eyes tired but steady. "Daddy?" The word struck sharper than any scream. He faltered, chest seizing, but forced himself steady. "Yes?" Her voice cracked but carried strength. "Thank you." His throat closed. He swallowed hard. No training had prepared him for words like that. No command manual had taught him how to hold them. The K9 barked once more, its breath fogging into the dawn. The soldier looked out across the horizon. Snow stretched endless, but the light grew brighter with every step. He whispered to himself, words meant for the silence more than for her. "You don't get her." The farmhouse faded behind them. The storm quieted. The dawn rose. The soldier knew this story would stay with him forever, maybe with you too. If you'd like to walk with us on more journeys, stay close.